morning, CCH family. Isabella here. I'm so happy to be back at it with these Heart to Home devotionals, and I just wanted to thank you guys all for the prayers and the support and the love that you gave Danny and I while we were out. It was such a blessing, and I'm super excited for our devotional today. We're going to be in the book of James, chapter 3, so I'm going to jump right into it, but first I want to pray. Dear Lord, I just thank you for today, and I thank you for the time that you've given us to just go into your word and seek you, Lord. And I just pray that I can take a step back and you can take a step in, and that whatever I say gives glory to you and to you only. In your name I pray. Amen. So I was having some trouble getting back into the swing of things when I first came back. So finding a topic or a verse for this devotional, it was kind of hard for me. I prayed and I asked for God for wisdom and discernment, just to know what to talk about. And it hit me, like, let's just talk about wisdom and how it's applied in our lives. And God brought me to these couple verses that I think will guide us in the right direction. It's like I said in James chapter 3, and we're going to be in verses 13 through 18. So I'm going to read them. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let him show by good conduct that his works are done in the meekness of wisdom. But if you have bitter envy and self-seeking in your hearts, do not boast and lie against the truth. This wisdom does not descend from above, but is earthly, sensual, and demonic. For when envy and self-seeking exist, confusion and every evil thing are there. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, peaceable, gentle, willing to yield, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. Now the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. So when I first think of wisdom, or someone who is wise, I kind of revert to knowledge. I say, okay, who's the most knowledgeable about this subject or this situation? And maybe they can give us a clear understanding. But wisdom is so much more than that. We should always know where wisdom comes from. In Psalms 111, verse 10, it says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. All those who practice it have a good understanding." You know, as children, we trust our parents to guide us and provide for us. We have the respect and reverence for them because they're our keepers, you know, and God's that way. Our wisdom grows in knowing who God is and what he does for us every single day. That reverence and respect, that fear of the Lord is grown by knowing who God is in our lives. And wisdom without proper application is foolishness. You know, when someone has wisdom, it's clearly present in their life, that godly wisdom. And James kind of explains what that should look like. He gives you a picture of first what worldly wisdom looks like. You know, bitterness, selfishness, and deceit, bearing nothing but confusion and evil. It's, you know, he's kind of telling you to check your heart, check yourself. I have to do it all the time, and when I read this, that's kind of the first thing I thought. You know, when I ask for wisdom, or when I think I'm understanding a situation, am I understanding it from a bitter heart, or am I understanding it from God's perspective? You know, if I'm claiming to be understanding and wise, but this is my heart, then it's not Jesus. It's all of my pride and my flesh. But after you have your little humble check, you can look to the next verse and see what godly wisdom really looks like and how to apply it to your life. He shows us the characteristics from the wisdom from above, wisdom from God. It's pure, it's not bitter or jealous, it's not sinful. It's peaceable, like my husband always says. Blessed are the peacemakers. Gentle and willing to yield, knowing when to forgive, knowing when to take a step back and be willing to listen and understand. It's full of mercy, without partiality, and without hypocrisy. Knowing the same mercy that God grants us is the mercy that we should grant others. And having the humility to be transparent and only seeking God's glory in these situations. When we apply all these things in our lives, the fruit that comes from it is seen, it's visible. It is of the Lord. As humans, fleshly, we tend to go the earthly wisdom route first. But thank God for his mercy. We know what we should do, but we still choose to do otherwise. But it takes godly wisdom to know nothing good will come from it. If we want better relationships, godly fruit, a life more pleasing to God, we just have to look at these verses. at this list that James gives us. And how do you apply godly wisdom in your life? I will be pure. I will be a peacemaker. I will be gentle, humble, merciful, and always seeking the Lord in my next action. So let's put these things in practice today, turning away from the bitterness in the flesh and focus on the things from above. Thank you, guys.